Okay, what is actually reasoning? It's like the thinking energy in your brain. You use it to make sense of information. You actually use the knowledge that you got and you do some comparison, and after that, you actually reach a conclusion. Okay, so it does not necessarily aim to fix something. Okay, so when you actually fix something which is problem solving, so for reasoning, you are actually not target to fix something. So it's more about understanding or decide what is actually true. Let's come to this first example. For example, you see dark clouds and you know that dark clouds usually bring rain. Okay, so by reasoning, you conclude that it is going to rain soon. So maybe I should ask you, what kind of reasoning is this? Is it deductive, inductive, or addictive reasoning? Okay, based on this example here. So the answer should be inductive. Okay, so let's go through why it is not deductive reasoning. Okay, so basically for deductive reasoning, it actually starts with a general theory. As you can see from here, it actually starts with a general theory, and basically you apply it, and then you have some observation, and thereafter you draw a conclusion. So basically, this is a typical so-called deductive reasoning. So basically, you come with a general theory. For example, you have this theory that said that all dark clouds actually will bring rain. So next, after coming to this hypothesis, which means that you determine whether there is any dark clouds. So once you make the observation, okay, where there are dark clouds, so therefore you draw a conclusion that it will rain. So next, why it is not adductive reasoning? Okay, so adductive reasoning is all about finding the best explanation for an observation. Okay, so it is often called an inferior to the best explanation. For example, the observation is the ground is wet. The possible explanation, okay, so basically you make some consumption assumption, it probably rained, or maybe a sprinkler was on, or someone spilled the water. So basically, this is a assumption. After that, you make a hypothesis, and then basically you do some form of best guess. So you actually see the dark cloud in the sky. So you assume that it probably rained. So basically, this is the best explanation. The key difference is basically the example that I mentioned earlier on is about prediction. Okay, so earlier on you can see that this is actually some form of prediction. The dark cloud will actually bring the rain. So it's actually a prediction, not explanation. Okay, so over here you can see that this is actually explanation. Okay, if the ground is wet and if you see the dark cloud, most likely it will probably rain. So basically, this is actually for adductive reasoning. Why is inductive reasoning? As you can see from here. So basically, in short, you make some form of observation. For example, you see some dark cloud, and based on certain pattern, which means that once you have dark cloud, most of the time it will actually rain.